Now, I know it's been all but inevitable, but for the first time I can say to you that Brexit is definitely happening. That's because the European Parliament has voted to approve the EU and the UK's withdrawal deal. The vote was 621 to 49, so not at all close. The UK will now definitely leave the European Union at 11 p.m. UK time on Friday. That's midnight in Brussels. As soon as the result was announced, many members of the European Parliament broke into song.
Hello. The coronavirus outbreak, which has killed 170 people so far and infected thousands across mainland China, has now spread to every one of the country's 31 provinces. This comes as the World Health Organization prepares to hold another urgent meeting later on Thursday to decide whether the outbreak should be considered a global emergency.
Countries who have imported cases, they have to stop transmission. Some of them are doing that extremely well. All of them are actually taking good action, but some need some help and assistance with lab and other expertise, and we're doing that from WHO. But the whole world needs to be on alert now. The whole world needs to take action and be ready for any cases that come, either from the original epicentre or from other epicentres that become established.
The new coronavirus is infecting and killing more people each day. It's been just a few weeks since the virus first broke out in Wuhan, but now the number of people who have coronavirus in China has outnumbered those who had SARS.
The new type of coronavirus that first appeared in the Chinese city of Wuhan late last month continues to claim more victims. As of Thursday, the death toll in China tops 170, and the total number of confirmed cases comes to around 8,000, with an infection rate much faster than the SARS outbreak in 2003, which had around 5,300 confirmed cases. As the virus continues to spread, China's President Xi said that preventing and containing it remains a grim and complex task. China's state-run media CCTV reported on Wednesday that Xi has sent a military medical team to the front line to prevent the epidemic from spreading.
It's the longest cross-border tunnel ever discovered on the southwest border, officials say. More than 3/4 of a mile long, the link from Tijuana to the U.S., an astonishing passageway 70 feet below the earth. Those beeps, warnings to investigators who entered the tunnel that the oxygen levels were dangerously low. The engineering here described by U.S. agents as elaborate, with an elevator, a rail system, electricity, and ventilation. The tunnel 5 feet tall, 2.5 feet wide. Authorities have made no arrests or seizures, but they did find an offshoot, another tunnel, still under construction.
A standoff in Guinea's capital. Tear gas filled the streets as another round of mass anti-government protests turned violent. Police used slingshots with stones as they tried to disperse the crowds, and protesters fought back. Arrests were made by security forces. This building was set alight in the demonstrations. It was a local business. A coalition of opposition groups calling itself the National Front for the Defence of the Constitution has been spearheading the protests. It called for a national strike on Wednesday, which saw many shops close.
Boeing has hit historic turbulence. Its quarterly earnings report reveals its first annual loss in over 20 years, down $636 million for the year. In the last quarter of 2019, the company saw a 37% drop in revenue from the year before. Its dramatic reversal of fortunes began with the grounding of its 737 MAX model in March 2019, following 2 plane crashes that killed 346 people.
We recognise that we have a lot of work to do. We are focused on returning the 737 MAX to service safely and restoring the long-standing trust that the Boeing brand represents with the flying public.
That looks set to be a long and painful process. Boeing has temporarily halted production of the entire MAX fleet while continuing software upgrades to convince regulators and airlines that it is safe to fly.
ثاني روح 15 حامي على نفس المحور يا وليد يا وليد
Terrifying series of rescues unfolding in Los Angeles. A raging high-rise fire, families, tenants trapped, several injuries, including a 3-month-old baby. This fire at a 25-story building, people escaping down smoky stairways, one man clinging to a ledge right there with flames burning just a few feet away. Helicopters could not land on the roof, so they conducted their rescues from the air, hovering over that roof. Officials say the building had no sprinklers, and ABC's Kena Whitworth is on the scene in Los Angeles.
Tonight, flames engulfing an apartment building in the middle of rush hour in Los Angeles. A man desperately climbing out the window, clinging to the side of the burning high-rise. Flames just feet away, the heat blowing out the windows. The man inching his way closer to firefighters.